Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to make these reversible bucket hats. If it's something you're interested in, then let's get started. To cut out the pattern for this part, I'm going to fold my pattern paper into 4. My head circumference is 23. I'll be dividing 23 by 6.28, which gives me 3.66. So I will approximate it to 3.7. So when I want to measure it, I'm going to take my tape rule to the edge of the pattern. Then I'm going to mark it. I'm going to mark 3.7 round, as you can see me do in the video. The next thing I'm going to do is to add half an inch sewing allowance around my pattern. After adding half an inch round, I'm going to cut out my pattern next. This is how it looks like after cutting it out. For the next pattern, I've already ruled an horizontal line. That's where all my measurements will take place. For the width of this pattern, I want it to be around 3 inches. So I'm going to mark 3 inches. Then I'm going to draw a straight line to connect them. When I'm cutting out my pattern, the edge of that pattern will be on fold. So I'm going to mark it. To get the length of my pattern, I'm going to divide my head circumference by 2. So I'm going to divide 23 by 2. That will give me 11.5. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to add half an inch sewing allowance all around, except from the part that will be on fold. After adding my sewing allowance, I'll go ahead and cut out my pattern. To get the measurement for the third part, I'm going to divide my head circumference by 3.14. So my head circumference is 23. That means 23 divided by 3.14. It gives me 7.32. So I'm going to start from the edge of the pattern. I'm going to measure it round, just like I did for the first one. The only difference is that this is not folded like the first one. This is just on a plain pattern paper. Once I'm done marking that, I want the width of the flare to be around 3 inches. You can make yours 2.5 or 2 inches. So I'll be marking 3 inches around the already marked measurements. The next thing I'll be doing is to add half an inch sewing allowance on that top right there. I'll be cutting out my pattern paper after marking out all my measurements. These are my pattern papers. This is what they look like. I've gone ahead to cut out my pattern paper on my fabric. For the first one, I cut out 2 pieces, while for the second one, which was on a fold, I also cut out 2 pieces. For the last one, I added sewing allowance on both sides and I cut out 4 pieces. After cutting out my pattern paper, I'm going to proceed to stitch my fabric. I'll be stitching the second part first. I'm just going to stitch both sides together. After I'm done stitching, I'm going to pin the first pattern on the second pattern. Just make sure you notch the first pattern on 4 sides and you also notch the second pattern on 4 sides. Then you're just going to pin the edges and you're going to sew. After I'm done pinning, I'll go ahead and stitch it up. After stitching it, I'll go ahead and notch all the sides. We'll be stitching the third pattern next. What I'm going to do is to join the sides first. After joining the side, I went ahead to sew 6 stitches around the flare. What I'm going to do is to notch the size of my flare. I will also notch the size of my other patterns too. After I'm done notching, I'll go ahead and pin up the 4 sides that I notched. I will go to my sewing machine and stitch it up once I'm done pinning. Since I want it to be a reversible bucket hat, I'm going to have 2 pieces of this. This is what it looks like after I'm done stitching it. The next thing for me to do is to join both bucket hats together. To join this, you should make sure right sides are facing each other. I'll go ahead and pin it up after that. Then I'm going to sew it round. When I'm sewing it, I'm going to leave a space where I can pull it out, but I will not be doing it like this because I want the edge of the bucket hat to be different. So what I'm going to do is to turn my bucket hat to the right side and pin them together, making sure the wrong side is facing each other. Once I am done pinning, I'll go ahead and stitch it up together. So guys, this is what it looks like once I was done stitching. I really did not like it because I find it too big. If I was to make it again, I'm going to make the second pattern to be around 2.5 inches or 2 1/4. What I like about it is that it protects me from the sun, which is very essential. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.